I see a lot of people that have done fire and have delayed their life for a while, and I realize that people sometimes think, well, what are my options? This is all I can do. I've got a job. What do you expect me to do? What do you want me to do? It's counterintuitive to get on a program that puts your life off for so many years. If it was only a year, right, or maximum maybe 2 or 3 tops, but even that is questionable. But if there was a big payoff at the end, you could say, well, that's worth it. It's just that people keep moving the goalpost, and so we don't want to get into that. We don't want to get into this moving the goalpost, and that's exactly what happens to fire people. The idea we're talking about here and discussing is concepts and how people's financial independence, retire early, or just retirement or early retirement goes up in smoke. They make plans, and then there's things crop up in their plans. So let's talk about that. That guy looks like he's looking for a place to poop or something. I don't know. Weird. I don't know what I did with my sunglasses.
I know what you're looking for.
Oh, okay.
They're not in there.
That's weird. They're probably in the car. Anyway, give me my towel, because
Something's leaving in here.
Oh my.
What is that?
Oh, okay. All right. I am seeing so many people that are financial independence, retire early. I said in a forum, if I see another person that's go back to get a job, I'm going to, and then I said, I don't pull my hair out, and I'm too young to have a diaper to go change. So, I'm just being facetious, but just to say, I'm just seeing so much of this. It's getting insane. We'll talk about that in a second. But that's what it's about, is people feeling like their retirement is up in smoke, and specifically those that have been working hard for many years to have a financial independence and retire early. And I'll tell you what's happening right now, and that it's a lot on a lot of people's minds, is that the stock market's down. The stock market's down, and a lot of people that have placed a lot of their financial focus on the stock market are now figuring out. Now, there are those that planned ahead and also did diversify into real estate, but a lot of people are getting caught blindsided and deciding, oops, maybe I should have some real estate, and so in order to do that. But here's my point, is that people spend so much time focusing on a set of rules, right? And people say, well, I'm going to, work all these years and save so much of my percentage of my income and put it all in this investment vehicle, and then after it gets to this level, I'll be able to retire. And then when they get there, this happens, and then they have to do it all over again. It's like, oh, oops, better go get a job, and and it's like a never-ending story, in the sense that, well, your retirement plans, or financial independence plans, we should say, or retire early, we call it a lifestyle because of various reasons, but my whole point is that things are constantly changing and fluid, and to make plans so many years in advance, subjecting ourselves in the meantime to a delayed life plan, remaining flexible and fluid, is one of the cornerstone pillars of retire early lifestyle. Retire early lifestyle is all about that. It's all about remaining flexible and fluid. It's something that we've been doing for over 3 decades, and we talk a lot about that. And then we see people within the financial independence and retire early community that become subject to the flaws of that program. It's counterintuitive to get on a program that puts your life off for so many years. If it was only a year, right, or maximum maybe 2 or 3 tops, but even that is questionable. But if there was a big payoff at the end, you could say, well, that's worth it. It's just that people keep moving the goalpost, and so we don't want to get into that. We don't want to get into this moving the goalpost, and that's exactly what happens to fire people. They do. They keep moving the goalpost for one reason, and it's not that the reasons are bad. The reasons are good. Well, I need to diversify. Well, I need to, well, I didn't, but having the foresight to see something in advance, which is vision. And how do you get that foresight and vision? Well, it's hard to get when you're in the middle of groups that all promote the same principle, like FIRE, financial independence, retire early. Only one prescribed way. There's only one way to do it. And so in order to have something that becomes a reality in our life, we have to be able to visualize that thing first in our mind. First it becomes a reality in our mind. We think about it and we conceptualize it. You know, you've heard the saying, what a man can conceive and believe in their mind, if they want to, they can achieve it. But it has to, the point is, it has to become a picture in your mind. And if it helps you, some people, you know, do things like print out pictures, but nowadays, and put them on their fridge. Nowadays, you can just go to the internet. That was pre-internet, putting pictures on your mirror and stuff. Nowadays, you just get on computer and get whatever picture you want. But it might help to print them out and just have them there even when your computer's not on. Just whatever it is that helps you conceptualize and visualize how you want your life to be. I'll tell you what helped me and gave me a lot of insight is taking a sabbatical. And as long as the sabbatical is open-ended. Because if you say, well, I'm going to take a sabbatical, it has to be a long one. It can't be something that feels like, okay, I'm going to go on vacation for 2 weeks or a month. Then you know you're going to have to go back to work. The sabbatical has to be a complete break. And the complete break, you can have things set up to where, well, if I do decide to go back to work, I can. That kind of thing. And so you may not be able to do it with your present employer or your present, you know, whatever the present situation is, but at least you have plans that if needs be, you can pick it back up. So taking a sabbatical, I would say that lasts at least a year, open-ended, which is what we did. And then with the idea is that if you want to extend it one more year at the end of the year, you can. Because that's what gave me the foresight when I was in my 30s, in my early 30s. I realized I took my 1 year sabbatical and I realized I really don't want to sit around and do nothing, you know, and it's part of that human nature, even though we know what we should do, or we know that this is a good idea, it sounds good and we should do it, or we know something might happen. It's like people that you tell them the pros and cons of something, like say moving abroad, going to Cuenca, Ecuador or something, but they trust you and they believe what you're telling them, but they still want to and need to, and they should, and perhaps, go there just for the fact that they are themselves able to confirm everything that you just told them. That's what happened to a lot of people. They would read our book, they would go down there, and then they would see, wow, everything you wrote in the book is true. And then at that point, they didn't have to wait, you know, 2, 3, 4, 5 years to figure it out on their own, because they already had a roadmap. It's just that they had to intrinsically, within their own selves. How do you say it, Angie? Help me out. You're good at that.
Experiential? They had to experience it.
It's like they had to experience it, even though they know it. You had to experience it. And it's like I did that when I took my sabbatical in my early 30s and decided after experiencing, that's right, experiential. After experiencing what it's like to do nothing and not have a deadline, not have commitments, not have people that, you know, that you need to go take care of and that need you, and that you have to show up in the morning, and you have to, you know, all of these commitments and stuff, whether it's business or employment or whatever it is. And doing that for a year and realizing, you know, I've enjoyed my time, but I don't want the rest of my life to be just doing nothing. As much as I enjoy nature and as much as I enjoy sitting at the beach, what I like is diversity. I like being at home, and then I like breaking up. Once I get tired of sitting in the house, I like coming to the beach. Once I get tired of the beach, I like going back home, you know. And for example, when I took my sabbaticals, like when we got in a 30-foot travel trailer with wife and children and decided to tour the USA and visit all parts of the USA, because I was a curious person and was really interested in knowing what it was like. I liked beaches and I liked all these other things other than the city I was living in. So I decided we'd do traveling all over the United States in my 30s with the children and all that. So imagine doing that, and you know, and then you were on your fire program, but you decided, you know what, maybe I should take that sabbatical, and you did those things, and then you came back and went back to work, and you started realizing, you know what, I just did those things, and I was going to wait another 10 years before I did those things. So what do I do when I get at the bottom of my 10 years or 20 years? But I hate seeing people that delay their life and have to delay their life. They think they have to delay their life for so many years, and to get to that, what I'm saying here is experiential is not all of it. It's not the whole thing, because sometimes we are not able to experience something for a long time. Like when we buy into this delayed life plan, well, by default, you're going to be sitting around doing something and delaying your life for 10 or 20 years, and then only to get to it and experience the idea that, gee, after a year or two, gee, I guess I'm kind of bored. I know I've got hobbies and all, but I really would like to do a little bit more, and gee, I really enjoy making a little money, you know, and this is the kind of thing that I'm seeing in some of these fire videos, and and so I'm just helping you out here, and I'm sharing with you, you know, our experience and how we did it and what helped us, you know, get on a non-delayed life plan and more of a balanced life and a retire early life as a lifestyle, as opposed to, you know, the traditional idea of retirement. So there are so many issues this day and age that just want to creep in and make our life miserable, but we don't have to succumb to that. We may have to make some modifications and some changes to our life plan. Live your life while you still can, you know, every chance you get, every day you get. I hope I've helped you with that. I hope you got something out of that. Thanks for coming to the video. Have a nice day.